Hello. It's good to see you, everybody. This is Funk McLovin. This is a video I've wanted to make for a while. It's a video about Homestuck 2 Beyond Canon. Homestuck 2 Beyond Canon was a somewhat controversial webcomic that was the official continuation of Homestuck. The official unofficial continuation, we won't get into that here. But I think enough time has passed that the controversies kind of died down. And I kind of have always wanted to talk about the art in this series because the art is something that I really enjoy. Now, I want to disclaim this to start with because I know a lot of fucking people are going to bitch and moan about like, oh, I hate Homestuck 2, Homestuck 2 sucks, this and that. I don't want to do any of that here. That's not what I want. If you've read Homestuck 2 and you have legitimate criticisms of it from your own brain, then, you know, that's one thing. Don't put them in the comments to this video. We're not going to talk about that here. This is going to be a positive video. But on a secondary note, if you are someone who dislikes the creators of Homestuck 2, like, personally, or you are someone who, might want to say, oh, I don't know, send them threats and, like, weird flaming messages and, racist, homophobic bullshit, then, there's the door, pal. Get out of here. I don't like that. A lot of the controversy back in the day was legitimate criticism, but the legitimate criticism was, like, overshadowed by this just haunting specter of, like, bigotry that followed Homestuck in this time, like, I don't know, like 2018, 2019, etc. So if you want to bring that up again, fuck off. I don't want to deal with it. Don't make me deal with that. Other than that, again, this is going to be a very positive review of Homestuck's art, and I think I finally have a place to talk about this in the fan community review series I've been doing. The last one I think I published was one about Rosemary, and this one is a more general, just like all characters, all kinds of stuff. But before we get into it, I do want to acknowledge the art contributors. I don't know who specifically made all this stuff because it's not very clear. I think that's by design. Again, because they're getting a lot of fucking hate for being part of this project. But I asked on Twitter, and they said most of the work was probably done by Zamag. I don't know if that's true or not, but Zamag is a longtime contributor. So I'm just going to run them down here. Zamag, I don't know how you pronounce that. My apologies. Pip Dillstone, Haven Daniels Taylor, Andrew Hussey. Who the fuck is Andrew Hussey? This is the only name I haven't heard of. If anyone knows anything else Andrew Hussey has made, just, like, let me know. I don't know their body of work very well. That's just not a name that, sparks any light bulbs in the brain. There's Courtney Brendel, Gina Chacon, or Cacon, De La Rosa, Brea R., and Kim Quach. Technical contributors, I don't know what that means. That's probably some art. And then Directors Emeritus, I don't know what that means either. Directors Emeritus, that's weird. Also, they don't have Hive Swap Act 2 on here or Friend Sim Act 2, so that's interesting. And then finally, the music that I'm listening to is my Homestuck Alternate Universe OST. So if you're into that, that's where you can find it. It's on funkmclovinbandcamp.com. But anyway, let's get into the review. Am I recording? Yeah. Okay, cool. I am recording. That's a little peek behind the curtain for you. That's what you come to Funk McLovin to see. I'm going to be honest, I've tried to record this video like 5 fucking times, and I'm sick of trying. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just wing it and see what happens. More HS2 or more HSAU is coming, but I do these in the between. So anyway, here's the first panel. I really, really like this first panel. There's something about it that just fucking really appeals to me. It's a very potent distillation of a lot of the different techniques that they use in this particular comic. You can see how the eye is kind of funneled to the middle, how everything is sort of bent and distorted to make it, you want to look right at Dirk. Dirk is the focus of this image. He's smack dab in the middle. It's very bold. He's shrouded by this orange light that sort of typifies, or I'm not going to try to use big words, that sort of exemplifies like this huge vibe. That was one hell of a sentence, wasn't it, folks? It's 5 a.m. right here. You can't see my clock, but it's 5 a.m. What I particularly like is how Dirk is a little more detailed than what is around him. Like, you can see these flowers and this nice sort of dustbin with some pieces around it. And he's not quite as... or the other things aren't quite as detailed as he is, which I really like. Very cool effect. Here's another picture. There's two things I like about this picture. The first is the sort of white on gray. That's a very cool monochrome thing without using any black or dark colors. The bottle right here is the only item that is in color other than this handkerchief. The handkerchief is blue. That could either represent sort of that Jane is on Jake's mind right now, or it could just be that was the color that they wanted to use to color the handkerchief, but who knows. The other thing I like about this picture is right here. This is, I don't even know what to say about this. This is, I mean, it speaks for itself, I think. This is... It's beautiful, it's immaculate, it's effervescent, it's effulgent, it just really, I love it. It's looking at it, I just, we could be here all day looking at it, folks, right? We could be here for time immemorial just taking one peek at this, but, we can't, so we gotta move on. So let's move on to the next picture. Here's Jane's ship. I like this. This is a very good picture. I think that it seems like it's tilted a little bit to the right compared to like the ground perspective, like it's a little off. But that's like nitpicking. Everything else here is just beautiful. The sort of blue filter over a genuine like aerial shot, the really stark different like shades of red that they're using for this. Different shades of the same color are used in this, and I think even Jane's text is a slightly different color than in canon. I'm not positive about that. That's not an art thing. That's like a graphic design thing, I suppose. But, I really like this. The billowing clouds. I'm not sure what these two things are. Are they like Dirk and Jake flying up to the ship? I can't really tell. Or maybe it's like a GPS. I don't know. Whatever it is, I like it. There he is. There he is. I don't have much to say about this except for there he is. What's going on here? What's going on? Here's the first appearance of Vrissy in the comic. Vrissy was actually one of the... During the beginning of the comic, Vrissy was like very promising. A lot of people really liked Vrissy. Myself personally, I have personal reasons for disliking that name because it bears a resemblance to something. I'll spare you, but it bears a resemblance to something some people called me in high school, or not even high school, like middle school, like some things that bullies shot at me. So for a while, I really didn't like Vrissy, but like it grew on me. I think that there could have been a better name, and if I remember correctly, there was a poll, or they took suggestions on what to call her, because, Vriska doesn't really work to call two characters. I really like this. There's the green background, the grassy stuff. There's Vrissy in frame. Unlike the other Homestuck characters before, her shirt is totally devoid of detail, so all the detail is right on her face, which is the first thing you see. Also, Gamzee is sort of out of shot, and his eyes are closed, and his mouth is kind of drooling. so you don't really focus on it. But he is dead, and they're using him as a pillow, and I think that's very cool of them. It's very girl boss of them. Here's some more Vrissy. Again, the very stark colors, the very, like, how do I describe this? You can see how there's no outlines, there's just these chunks of color. And these chunks are incredibly well defined, giving them very good silhouettes. The blacks that they use are just like the total, 0 hex code black. This contrasts very heavily with like the brightness around them, creating a very strong silhouette. All of the details are sort of encased in this black. I like that a lot. I like the streak in Vrissy's hair. I like the strong like coloration of her matching her blood to her shirt color there. Very cool. She looks like a really believable teenager, and I really like that. Like, she looks like straight out of, someone who'd like shout something at you from like a car window or something. Very, very cool. Griffin? Griffin? Here's Harry Anderson. I really like this design. I have a lot to say about this. So Harry Anderson, you can see that most of his features are from Roxy, right? The pointy hair, the swirl in the top of his hair, the very pronounced eyelashes, those are all Roxy. So he looks very much like, almost like a male version of Roxy, like a Rule 63 version that you might have seen on Tumblr like back in the day. But his details, like the handkerchief and the phone being blue, the nubby teeth and the way he acts, as well as his chosen writing color, they're all John. So it's like if Roxy's kid acted like John, and I really like that. Very well thought out John Roxy fan kid. I guess not fan kid, because this was an official continuation, but I really like this design. Very cool. Go back. Here's 3 of them together. I want to talk a little more about Vriska as opposed to Griffin and what the fuck's this guy's name? Tavros. Tavros and Vriska. Vriska looks really worse for wear, and I don't know how I feel about that, because there was some like shenanigans with like the ages of the characters, and I think Vriska is supposed to be like slightly older than these two in this, which is like a little surreal, because that means that Vriska is like a different age group, but she still went through all the shit that the others went through, so she's kind of out of time here, which is very strange. She's in the Candy universe, which is, fucked up for her already, but I don't know. But the design is very good. The new eye patch with the infinity sign, I like that a lot. It's kind of like her sloughing off her old stuff. I also like how you can see that they both have the same crescent moon shape on our left side of their hair, their right side. And it really does look like Vriska's hair was just cut shorter for Vrissy. I really like how different they are. Here's an homage to the original Homestuck. I just included this because I like it. I like the blah face. Very cool. Jane, my beloved. Hello. How are you doing? You don't look happy. You don't look pleased. What I like about this is the... Again, this is some color stuff that I don't know if I'm reading too much into, but the blue on these screens over here, or these might be windows, really, it's Jane's color, right? This sky blue, this baby boy blue is Jane's color. And this juxtaposes to how she's carrying herself right now. This burgundy red, this very rich, bright red in various shades and tones in this background, is juxtaposing to her normal self. So you can tell she's a very different person, and this blue on the windows back here could be symbolizing her like change into being this other different person. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it again, but that's what I interpret about it. Here's my cat. Say something. Say something. Say hello, gamers. Can you say that? Funny. Funny. Say hello, gamers. She's not cooperating. She usually says that. But... Anyway. Here's another Harry Anderson. I just like this expression. It's very John. Like, you wouldn't see Roxy sitting like that, probably. I just like that pose. He's fucking clueless. Here's some stuff from the other side of the narrative, the meat side, where Calliope is taking over Jade's body, and I don't really know what to make of that because they didn't really develop it much. They weren't able to do much with that yet, as the comic was just starting. But there you go. This, though, is very cool. The purple and green. Purple and green is a theme we're going to see going forward. There's two green characters that get a lot of attention in this part of the story, but also the sound effect, the shh for the door, that's cool. Here's another one of the Meteor, or not the Meteor crew, the Pursuit crew. They're chasing after Dirk and Rose. What I like here is you can see the Dave Cat thing happening where they're wearing each other's shirts. That's pretty neat. Here's Roxy's redesign as a they them. I don't remember if Roxy went like full trans mask or just they them, so forgive me if I get the wrong pronouns, but there it goes. And then Jade, Calliope sort of hovering above everyone else. Very cool. The green, I think, must symbolize, like, you know, Calliope's control, but probably not. It's probably just what the what they picked the color for the floor to be. I like it. I also like how the three of the Dave, Carcat, and Roxy there are sort of wearing comfy clothes. They're just hanging around. But Jade is wearing that nice dress because Calliope is getting used to, like, being in her body. Here's one of their sprites. I like the sprite work here. The sprites in this are used kind of sparingly, so I'm not going to talk about them much. I think using them sparingly was a good idea. Like, you probably should have them just to make sure it's, like, still a Homestuck continuation, but I don't know. The sprites near the end of, like, Homestuck itself were kind of going out of style a little bit. But people still like it. I do like how this and this are sort of two different styles of the same area, and it translates very well. I also like, I want to show you something here. This up in the corner here. That's beautiful. I love that. Love looking at that. I could get stuck looking at that all day, so let's go on to something else. Here's a good scene. This is another one where your attention is directed very effectively, where you are looking at this picture. You first see Kanaya because she's the brightest thing in the room right here. Then you see her eye line and you look over at Dave's silhouette, another very, very well implemented silhouette. Sorry, I got the hiccups. You can also see how Kanaya's usual green color is compared to this purple color she's sort of shrouded in from outside and in this room. And I think purple and green are like opposites on the color wheel. I might be wrong about that, but they're like complementary colors, and I like that. In different shades, too. That's very masterful. It gives it this sort of... Like, you can see it right here up top, on the top of the image, where this darker green and darker purple mix. Like, it's sort of... It gives a certain sense to the eye, right? It's sort of a little bit weird, and I like that. I don't know how to describe it. You know what I mean, though. Here's the first glimpse we get of Rosebot. Now, Rosebot herself, her character, I'm not that into. I can't really tell how much agency she's supposed to have. Like, if Dirk is controlling her, how much, like, you know, what's her deal, right? How much is she controlling her own consciousness and how much is it Dirk's meddling? I don't really know. In the epilogues, it really just seemed like Dirk was mind controlling her, because she was like, she was ironing his fucking underwear, which is like, it's a fucked up thing to do, to have someone iron your underwear, and it feels like it does not feel in character for Rose, but on the same time, I don't really know. My favorite detail about this design is the ballet slippers. It seems it seems good for Rose. Like she's not necessarily a dancer, but ballet seems like something that's thematically she would be into. Some kind of, you know, it just seems like something she'd like. I don't know. I like it. The flowing skirt, the black sort of under the turtleneck like jumpsuit thing she's wearing under that. Very interesting color choices here. This is very stark, very cool. I don't know. I really like Rosebot. I think she could have been really cool, but the design is on fucking point. It's great. Here's the first glimpse of them in the cave area. This sort of nice purple cave, another purple area. Rosebot again is looking at Terezi and Dirk. This is the first glimpse of Terezi, I do believe. And Terezi's looking real nice. I don't know where this like green colored jacket comes from, but her shoes look awesome. The Libra pattern on her pants is very cool. There's the famous right here, the horse picture. And there's Dirk looking like a fucking just like a fucking dingus. I'm gonna say a slur if I'm not careful here about Dirk. Here's something. I like this. I won't linger on it too long because it's a flashing one, but here Dirk looks like a fucking twink. But what song is playing? Oh, that's a Cantown anthem. Wow, we're almost to the end of it. Okay. I'm not even halfway through the fucking... What can I put on? I'm not going to put on penis music. I'll put on the Vriska mixtape. Is that good? That's a little loud. I'm going to turn it down. I'm probably not going to edit this out, just so you know. Anyway, Dirk looks like a twink here. I like that a lot. He looks like a fucking little skinny boy that I could break in half with my bare fists. But then in the Pester Quest, he's like a fucking hunk. So what's the truth? What's the truth? Oh, this guy. We love this guy, don't we, folks? We love this guy. He's a great guy. This is a character who everyone loved. Like, this was the point where things started to get, like, the controversy started to pick up with Homestuck 2. But this character, everyone fucking loved him. I don't think he ever got an official name. He might have gotten, like, a fandom name that I'm not familiar with, but, like, I love this design. Very cool. Very, very OG Homestuck. Here's another one of Rose Bot. I think that little light sigil she has is, like, emanating light. I kind of like that. I like her. I like the crown in her design as well. Here's Jade arguing with Calliope. This is the Calliope who, like, predetermined over her brother. It's kind of hard to keep track of which version of these characters they are, but I think I have a pretty good idea. I like this because the light source is behind Jade, and that's going to come up in another picture later, but I like this argument. This is another case of... I think there's an unintentional theme in Homestuck 2 of agency, right? There's a lot of characters who you're not really clear on their agency, and I'm not sure that's 100% intended. I think that the writers might have thought that there was, like, a better notion of like, who had agency or not. I don't really know. I'm not going to try to pretend that I know what they were thinking, but I don't really know how much agency Jade wants here, right? Did she let Calliope in? Is Calliope intruding? Because it's almost played for kind of a joke, like a joke argument. Like, you're supposed to think that Calliope has, like... You're supposed to have sympathy for her, because there are numerous shots of her like hanging out in Jade's brain, sort of sadly, and you're supposed to, I think, be a little sad for her. But I don't think that if you're mind controlling someone, I wouldn't have that sympathy for them. So I don't really know. Here's another great silhouette of Jade taking some initiative, and I really like that for Jade. Like, this part is very cool, where she like is so fucking fed up with Calliope that she's willing to like endanger herself with chocolates. I'm not gonna hold on this for very long, but I made an edit with this Caramel Jaden where you get the idea. This is the one I was talking about. Ooh, my God, this, I could look at this all day. Like, fuck. This is probably the best panel in this entire fucking webcomic. This right here. This is fucking beautiful. The way her hands are sort of near the viewer's throat, very dangerous. The blood aura that she has, the literal blood aura. The stark black background, the hair kind of going in tendrils, and most of all, these eyes. Usually the eyes in Homestuck are just dots, but the fact that they drew the pupils there is just fucking menacing, and I love that. This is wonderful. This is a wonderful drawing. This is taking the Homestuck style and like elevating it, right? This is amazing. This is just fantastic. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. I'm gonna be here all day, so I'm just gonna cut it off there. But like, this right here, I want to see more of that. That's fucking great. I don't think there's ever been like a Homestuck style picture that is as good or raw as this. I love it. Here's Vriska. What's wrong with this Vriska? Why did I bring this one? It's kind of a weird Vriska. Oh, I know why. Because the half moon crest on her right side of her head isn't there. Other than that, it looks great. I like the lighting here, very very sort of sly, good expression. She's less ratty in this one, but she's still got those scars. I kind of like that. Oh, here it is. This is one of the frames, and there's going to be more of them in this, that give me an emotion. And I have no clue how to explain this emotion, but this feels wrong in like an intentional way, right? John's wearing this like polo shirt that he's never worn ever before. Roxy's wearing this like, she looks like, that's no good, is it? This is like cis-het Roxy. That's not good. That doesn't feel nice. And then Harry Anderson's here, but like the John Roxy dynamic here is like, I'm gonna come back to this, but there's something wrong here. I do like the pastel colors on the backgrounds on the couch though. That's very cool. Here's another. Come on, what is this? This is fucked up. Cishet Roxy is not real. She cannot hurt you. I don't like this. Look at her. This looks like she's about to like go into a set of a porno or something. It's so like hyper feminine, and like the clothes she's wearing is like Karen shit, and it's like, no, this is not Roxy. Who is this? It feels wrong on purpose. Her car is pink. I don't like that. Oh, this is not a Roxy who would know what like a SNES game is. She would not play video games. A lot of people got pissed off at this because you know, a lot of people liked trans Roxy, and they were kind of mad that or they like trans femme Roxy, and they were mad that trans mask Roxy happened. But this is like, no one likes this. No one likes cis Roxy. Here's another weird one of John wearing that fucking polo shirt. I do like the expression. It looks very cute. I think John's supposed to be in his 40s in this. I don't know. The ages are kind of ambiguous. Is there any music playing? Okay, good. All right, anyway. Oh, God. All right, here we go. Here it comes, folks. Now, I remember before this moment in Homestuck 2, there was a lot of goodwill floating around for the project. There was a lot of people who, like, you know, we're kind of, you know, let's give it a chance. But when this happened, a lot of people jumped ship. And I find that very sad because there is a lot to like about these redesigns. Like Rose's short hair, that looks adorable. She's still wearing the nice thick black makeup. Kanaya is wearing her shade of, Rose's shade rather, of lavender on her lips, the same color as that jacket. I like Rose's sort of cropped top jacket here, very cool. Kanaya's like robe thing with the red undercut, that's, or under, not undercut, but under layer, I don't know. That's very cool. The way that Kanaya's hair is sort of like fucked up because she's frazzled. Everything here is very good. This is a whole ass vibe. I love this picture because these redesigns are so very on point. And then Jade comes in. Rose, Kanaya, they hit the Pentagon. They're all dead. Both towers went down. Oh, man. This design is also fucking awesome. The goggles on her head. Whoops, I won't skip past it. The camo vest. You don't see it now, but she's got those gloves that have, like, the toe beans for dogs on it. It's like, this could have been fucking great. Here's Vriska. I like this picture. I don't have much to say other than I just really like how she is. It captures her smugness very well. And the Omega kids in the background telling her, "What the fuck are you doing?" That's also good. Vriska's so cool. And then this happens. She turns back into her god-pure self and, like, I don't know. What happened next was they did some prose, and I really like the prose that they use for the comic. But without any visuals, it was kind of hard to connect to, especially in a visual medium. Like, if you're reading a comic, you don't all of a sudden just want to sit down and read some words. You want to continue to read a comic. So I think that choice was kind of unfortunate, especially because the drawings were so cool. If they had just had, like, one or two drawings of Vriska flying around and beating people up, that would have been awesome. But I don't know. That's up to them. Here's another one with Kanaya and Rose's redesign. You can see more of Jade in this one. She's got some, like, combat equipment. This is all in the Candy timeline. I like the silhouettes here, very nice. I do want to say, if I was Kanaya, I'd be fucking terrified, wouldn't you? Like, I'm not, you know, I'm a vampire, so I'm presumably immortal, but, like, that's fucked up. I don't want to be, like, carried around. I want to, you know, get in a car. I don't know. I like that. I imagine she would say something like "Pachoo" when she's going through there. That's funny. Oh, folks. We love to objectify a 40-year-old man, don't we? We love it. A lot of people made edits of this where, you know, Jake had a fatter ass. And, you know, I think they should make it fatter in this comic. I frankly do. I think they should increase the fatness of his ass. Here's some Yiffy. Now, Yiffy, the design I like. The name I'm not too hot about. Not because I'm a prude or anything. I think it's funny. I just think that, like, you can't really take it seriously, and that's unfortunate because her character is literally about, like, being abused by your aunt, like, physically, and that sucks. I just think it doesn't really fit what they were going for, but, you know, Yiffy, there she is, very cool. Here's the full picture. I cannot unsee this, though. Someone made an edit of Yiffy that looked like the Nostalgia Critic because she's wearing this jacket and tie combo. And I cannot unsee that. But yeah, I like Yiffy. Yiffy is fucking cool. She doesn't have a single speaking line, which is very nice. Because it allows her to express emotively. and express more in the art, which is, as I've said, very strong. Like right here, the reds that are shrouding her are lighter than the reds we've seen shrouding Jane in the past pictures. So she looks more pissed off here. Yiffy does. And the shadow, like, coming forward, again, like the Jade picture before, it's a figure that is right smack dab in the middle of the screen, a figure that sort of is coming towards you, the viewer, and you can sort of sense this rage coming from that. It's very potent. I like that. Here's Terezi hopping around. There's some, like, little animals that are these sort of, you know, amalgams from Homestuck history, like the bunny, the grubs. I think Rose's wands are the texture of those legs. And here we have Terezi just hopping around, having a fucking ball. Very cool. Davebot, that's another good redesign. Davebot is a character that I just kind of bounced off, but the redesign here is very cool. The sort of pinker reds that they use for Davebot are very potent. I like those. Is there still music going? I can't hear it. Yeah, it's going. Cool. Anyway. I like it. Arati is there. They're having a good time. Here's my cat again. This is funny to me that she just kind of like left Solix behind, but I think this is in keeping with Solix's character of not wanting to participate in the story. But I like this representation. This is the first representation we've seen of the hole in the world that was described in the epilogues. I just thought that was kind of cool. Here's one that's interesting. I think that Davebot and Aradia are dancing. I really like that for them. I like Davebot's whole fucking style here. The poofy pants, the Converse, this scarf cape thing. His katana is not shitty this time. It's not broken, so I'm glad we're seeing some character growth there. He's training up. We see another Jade being possessed by Calliope. This time, I believe, a dead body. I don't remember how that came about, but that's pretty fucked up and cool. We love that. Oh, folks. Come on. Even if you're the most ardent epilogues hater, even if you dislike Dave Cat, let me take a minute just to appreciate this fucking shot. Up till now, we've had these shots that are very good at portraying anger or a very strong emotion, but this is fucking comfy, right? This place where everyone has been before, this very non-intimate, very rudimentary sort of space of a messy-ish laundry room with that big sink in the corner, a couple of machines that just look old as hell, some shelves with God knows what on it, and like a random scale sitting around, and these boxes, and just a kiss in the middle of it with this bare bulb actually shining a spotlight right on them. This is the kind of like image that you would love to see of your favorite ship. Like, this is wonderful. This is just like so soft, and the way that they're standing, Dave like extending his toes to like get a better kiss with Carcat. The way Carcat is like clinging to Dave like a fucking koala on a eucalyptus tree. It's just a wonderful picture. I don't really know how the mechanics would work because Dave's glasses, I feel like, would get in the way in a kiss like this, but we're not going to worry about that because this is so wonderful. Here's another picture of Yiffany. Up till this point, Yiffany didn't get a lot of development, but still, again, very, very emotive. I also like how Yiffy, here, let me see if it shows it. Her ears, there was another picture of her like jumping on a coffin, but I don't think I have it. But her ears and her tail are both black as opposed to Jade's white ears. So her palette is sort of inverted from Jade, and she's got those sharp eyelashes from why did I call them eye things? She got those sharp eyelashes from Rose's side. That's cool. Here's the reunion. Another one where I don't really like what's happening in this scene. This sort of unearned reunion between like unresolved, like, extramarital affair stuff. But the details here are wonderful. Like, you know, if you pretend for a moment that Yiffy is, like, just their kid that they just had because they wanted him, this is wonderful. Like, the very good hug between them, the reunion. I like that. I feel like if I were Yiffany and I got pawned off on my shitty aunt to, like, be abused, I'd be more angry at my parents, but, you know, that's just me. Here's another one of Kanaya. She looks really good in this, even though she's, like, about to bite a child. But that, you know, it's a girl boss moment. It's fine. You know, we love that for her. I mean, I'd bite Griffin McElroy if I saw him too. Who knows? Here's one of Jane. Jane's design here at the funeral of Gamzee is very good. Her reds have been changed out for these purple accents on this very dour black dress with a jacket over it. Her guards all have that nice burgundy, the sort of nice red, deep, dark red patterning. And here's something subtle. On the walls, on the windows rather, it's Prospect and Durst colors, which is kind of cool. Very thematic. I don't really know why churches would exist on Earthsea because, like, presumably Christianity does not, but, like, it makes sense that maybe some religion got started due to Prospect and Durst. Here's Vriska and Vrissy. I love Vrissy's expression in this. It just cracks me up. Vriska's still in her god tier. It's very playful. I like the background is probably the best one I've seen so far, this background. Very stark silhouettes and colors. This blue transitioning into green, contrasting with Vriska's yellow and orange and the sort of darker blues. I really like that. I don't remember what's happening in this scene, but fuck. I don't know. Just a really well-made panel that went harder than it had to. Speaking of things that go harder than they have to, well, I guess this goes appropriately hard. This is pretty dramatic. This is subtle, but this is like a blurry... This adds a little depth, this blurry little piece of jittering debris. Kind of adds some depth to this picture. Very cool. Karkat, this is another one where your eye is drawn right to Karkat. His eye is the brightest thing except for that fire over in the corner, and that's obscured, so you don't really, your eye doesn't really, it glosses over it. But, like, Karkat here is like, look at him. He's cool. I like it. He's got a cool design. John looks like he's about to give him some fucking sloppy toppy from the way he's holding his head there, but, you know, other than that, it looks pretty cool. I like how, like, the seams on his pants are almost glowing. That's interesting. This is also our first glimpse of Commander Karkat, and Commander Karkat is pretty cool. And then it's immediately undercut by the fact that there he is, just sitting there. I think his skin tone got a little darker, Karkat's did. That's interesting. That might just be the lighting, though. Who knows? Oh, here we go. Here we go, folks. All right, here we go. You knew I was going to do an art video on this. I was going to talk about the table, right? The table. Sorry, my foot itches. I keep itching it, but it's, like, not going away. But anyway, here's the table. The table is a little thing that people like to mock, but I really love the table, right? Because this is sort of an optical illusion where the black line from the corner doesn't line up with the other corner of the table, so it just creates this weird edge. But I kind of love it. I kind of like it for that. I like that imperfection, that fucked up table. Like, the longer you look at the table, especially that corner opposite of Roxy, it's fucked up. Wait, is that a GameCube controller on the ground? Hell yeah. This is a Roxy who plays video games on a fucking CRT. Do you think they're playing Melee? I think they're playing Melee. Who do you think Dave mains in Melee? Probably, I don't know. He seems like a maybe like a Falco guy. Roxy probably like, you know, Mewtwo or Jigglypuff or something. Oh, here's another one of those pictures with that vibe I was talking about earlier. The John Roxy candy vibe. The really fucked up, unpleasant vibe. This is just wrong. Look at this. We've got Sis Roxy and like John who doesn't like fit his clothes. This is weird. I do like Roxy's little mug, how it's a martini glass that has a handle. That's cool. I like the cat lamp in the top right corner. That's kind of awesome. The cat paintings on the walls. The palette is good. I think I know what emotion this gives me. Have you ever had like an ex who you still like, but then you like have to see them every day, maybe at school or work, and you have to like be nice to them even though you have this like crippling attraction to them that still like is hanging around? It feels like that. Looking at this picture gives me that emotion. I feel like I'm talking to an ex that I still like but cannot date anymore. Like I still have to communicate with them and like be their friend. And like, oh man, that's the feeling I get from these images. That's very potent. Oh, here we go. Here's some pictures. I guess that was my last one from Homestuck 2 proper. But here's some pictures from the bonus stuff. What I like about this one is how there is Troll Joe Biden over here in the left-hand corner. They predicted Joe Biden. Homestuck 2 predicted him. I don't remember what this character's name is. I think there was going to be some plot with, like, you know, he was some kind of, like, pity hire from the troll space or, I don't know, whatever. I never cared. You can read this if you want. I do like this little newspaper mock-up. Very cool. One of the fucked up things, though, is, like, the some of the text has, like, this smear on it. I don't know if this is from, wait a minute, hold up. Jane Crocker is 23? Ah, fuck. I didn't mean to scroll. That's not fair. That seems like it's too young. Anyway. Here's Jaspero's sprite, who looks the same. No redesign there, but looks cool in this style anyway. I like the sort of 5 prongs on her head. That's kind of cool. There's also the, I believe this painting behind them is a re-rendering of like one of the old pieces of the Snapchat epilogues or something. We have Swiffer right here in the right-hand corner. That's pretty cool. Jane is wearing those blue high heels, which sort of reflect what I was talking about earlier with the, you know, her blue is going away. It sort of represents her old self, maybe. I do like how she is wearing like a pantsuit in this one. I don't remember which universe this was from, whether it's from Meat or Candy. Who knows? I like how Jake, he looks really good. He could lose the shorts though, or not lose the he shouldn't take off the shorts. I meant he should get long pants. That's what I meant. Jesus Christ. Anyway, here's Swiffer again. I don't remember what these 3 characters on the left are named. They kind of get roped into this, but Swiffer is one of my favorite additions as another Jade Blood. Here's a picture from the they went back to the Problem Sleuth style, which I really liked for the epilogues. They wanted to sort of appeal to that really old part of the fandom. I don't know why they hid that behind the bonus stuff. Like, this is very interesting. Very, very compelling. Here's one in a slightly different style that looks a little more similar to Andrew Hussey's old style. I think the pose that Jasperos has might even be an homage to one of those. The hero stuck panels, or the hero mode panels. Jane looking fucking cool. Jane has kind of like, she's presenting more masculine here, which I like. But like, not totally masculine, just more, you know, the pants, the suits, all that kind of thing. Very, very nice. Here's one of Dad. This is just a great picture. I don't have much to add. Like, I was shocked that something like this appeared in the comic. Like, look at how good this is. The sort of distorted background. Dad's, like, the shadows are perfect. It looks like it's straight out of some kind of noir, like, comic book. It's really good. Then we have this panorama. I like this this part of the panorama where they're they're dancing, but Jane is like trying to be sad. And then you have this over here, the dames from Problem Sleuth that Jasperos is having fun with. We love that. This guy's getting a plant thrown at him. Jake's having a bad time, and Jaspero's trying to make him feel better. I like how Jake looks here. He looks fucking haggard. We love that for him. I think that's Swiffer. They're having fun. I don't know. I like this because it's sort of, your eye is drawn to Jasper's throughout this, and you can kind of, it traces left to right. I don't know. I like it. Monochrome, very cool. Brings back a lot of the style of the old Problem Sleuth stuff. I don't think Andrew Hussey was doing this art either, so that makes it even better. And then I think this is one of my last pictures, but this is Dirk. This is how he should look. This is how Dirk should look, right? He should not be having a good time. He should be miserable at all times, especially when he's trying to pull some shit like, going to a different planet and making a new race. Here's some art of the influencers. You can see Harry Anderson up in the top left. This is kind of like the opposite of what I was talking about, where they kind of draw the eye. Your eye kind of meanders around this one. It kind of focuses on different things. There's a lot of space around Harry Anderson, so you look there and you notice him. There's these three characters that are in different corners. There's a crowd back there. We don't know what's going on yet, but I like this. It's sort of more peaceful, less focused, but more like pleasant. Damn. This is another one from the bonus one where Diamond's Droog is talking to Dad. I think the implication here is that they liked each other, which is awesome. There's something about noir characters having gay sex that just appeals to me. It tickles the part of my brain that, like, we like that. We like gay guys in love, but doing noir things. I like the style that they're in. It's a very different style. I don't even know what to call it. Like, it just looks like a comic book or something. Plus, it's on top of that very nice photo background. And then this one, just the distorted perspective, all of that, very, very good. Oh, wait a minute. What the fuck is this? I don't know what that was. That was just a video that I took earlier. That must be the old version of the video. But anyway, that's all the panels that I have from Homestuck 2. I think the music stopped at some point, but who cares? I don't know. I guess in summation, the Homestuck 2 art could be very diverse and cool. I think what they wanted to do was, like, very interesting. I wish they would have been able to continue. But it's probably good that they didn't, because, like, so many people just weren't into it. But the art was great. Whoever made that art did a wonderful job, and I think it deserves to be talked about. And that's why I made this video. That's basically all I have. I'm going to check that I've been recording, because I haven't checked once. Okay, cool, I am recording. I don't have anything to plug or anything, so, just read Homestuck 2, I guess, and look at those Bandcamp videos I posted. I don't know how to end videos, right? You just kind of meander into nothingness. You talk about whatever until you realize you're out of things to say, and then the video just kind of stops.